Hey, welcome to Matrix Talk on this October the 11th, 2024. And hey, we thought we'd talk a little bit about certification.
Yep.
So, well, first thing, if you're watching this on a computer and you can see ACT Matrix certification, if you're watching this, you're heading towards certification.
Yeah.
So, everything you do propels you toward it. Obviously, no. Now I get to what you do not need certification to use the ACT matrix anywhere you want to. There's no limits. I gave it away to the world. Period. End of story. For that matter, I gave the pro social matrix away too. You can use that. Uh, However, there are folks out there in the world that need a certification. They might need it just for their own whatever. They feel better.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
certified, which
As an
is
accomplishment, something they've achieved.
right. And that's great. Okay. Uh, and, but others, they needed it for professional reasons.
Hmm.
And there's even a state that counts it toward
Oh, continuing education.
continuing ed. It's really, and we didn't ask for that. We just heard about it. So that's a state. But we recently got a new student in certification from Russia, and uh, and like we have no borders. We like everybody. We would go show this, well, literally anywhere in the world, literally, because it's a point of view. It's a way of looking at things. But back to it, if you want certification, and the very first person who needed certification was a student of ours who was an attorney or is an attorney and wanted it for professional credentials. And he does use it for that. And we have like somewhere between 50 and 75 people accredited now. I know it's at least that.
Yes.
And so the link down below, take you and you can do the certification and get certified. But you don't have to. Let's see, yeah, we used to get some grief like, oh, you're requiring certification to use that. Oh, no, we're not. But well, we thought, and we do. People ask us, do you have the certification? So they can use it. The folks over in England in the substance use program that we consult with, and we consult them. Well, they all have at best high school diplomas, whatever the equivalent is there in the UK. But it's very advantageous for them to have a certificate. It gives them street cred or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we've accredited several of them in their work. So and I say they're volunteers and they're for the most part ex severe users
Like
themselves
recovering people. Yes.
recovering, and so they don't have any letters after their name.
No.
But so we figured we worked out a deal that they can be accredited. So that's what we're up to with this. And so, but now we'll get to the meat of it in that when you go for accreditation, well, uh, the matrix. that, that, that's pretty safe to say, right? Like we're not going to.
Way of putting it.
Yeah, and the steps are you learn all about it, and you learn all about it, and you practice it. You just practice doing it, uh, which is the first of it is you simply throw the diagram up there. I can switch diagram.
Yes. Let's do that.
Now show. There we go. The basic diagram minus the noticing. But you go in and you say, there's the diagram. Honest truth, folks, in most settings, we don't mention senses of mental and relief and satisfaction right away. We instead go for the 4 questions. Well, those aren't on here. Ah, strange. Oh, well. We'll fill them in. We know what they are. In the
Yeah,
lower
that's a
right,
good thing.
in the lower right, there's who's important to you. And then people say they're whoever is important to them. In the lower left, we ask the question, well, what kind of yucky stuff shows up inside of you? For example, fear. And people then anxiety and self-doubt, pain, all kinds of stuff. In the upper left quadrant, we say, well, what do you do to get relief from that yucky stuff? Well, they drink and they watch YouTube and they whatever, play games, hang out, play games, whatever. And then in the upper right, we say, well, what do you do for satisfaction? That is the easiest is to think about what do you do for those who are important to you? Like, well, I might go talk to my wife. Phil might go, what might you do, Phil?
Oh, maybe I'll go watch my son's soccer game, for example.
There you go. Watching children's sporting events.
Right.
That kind of stuff. And in the middle, there's oftentimes a noticing, and we say, well, you might have the opportunity to notice all of that stuff showing up in your life in the next week or so. Maybe, maybe not. People go, yeah, I think I might have the opportunity to notice who's important to me and yucky stuff and relief moves and satisfaction moves showing up in the next week or so. Boom! If you can do it that well, we're going to accredit to you.
Yeah.
And I realize some of you are going, whoa, 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 what did he just say? Well,
Right.
I've done it thousands of times.
Yeah.
So I can and Phil can do this too.
Yeah.
Roll through it. Why? Because we want you to be able to do it that way. Okay. And keen listeners will have noticed what I didn't say. I didn't say anything about your problems and things you need to fix about yourself or anything like that. It was all focused on matter-of-factly taking a look at yourself. What were a candid look at yourself, as if you were taking a picture of yourself. And you just notice the stuff. You notice who's important. You notice your yucky stuff. You notice what you do to get relief, and you notice what you do to get satisfaction. Boom. And believe it or not, people can get to thinking that there's other stuff to do, and there's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's that simple, and we leave it that simple for a whole boatload of reasons that we're not going to go into today. So there's science behind what we do there, right? In doing that. So that's the basic one, and we just want you to be able to roll through it matter-of-factly like that. Okay. So you can just show it anywhere. And we have restaurants and store clerks. And can't imagine.
Yes, dental hygienist.
Dental hygienist, my dentist. There's all kinds of people that those will come up. What do you do? My shtick is I'll oftentimes say, well, I'm a psychological flexibility expert. And they'll go, what? What is that? I'm like, well, I can show it to you real quick if you want. It only takes less than a minute. And I go, well, yeah, I'd love to see that. Oh, and I do just what you heard me do. So that's a quick way of getting to show it to people. Okay, and that's it. We just want to show it to people. And like, oh, well, what do you want them to do with it?
Not up to me.
We have no.
Yep.
What do they call that? I don't have a dog in that fight.
We don't have an agenda.
We have no agenda. By the way, folks, that not agenda is part of the deal. It's called non-judgmentalism. If there was a philosophy called non-judgmentalism, we would be doing it. That would be us. Because once you get into there's an agenda, like, well, I want you to use this to improve yourself. Oh. Oh.
Dangerous waters there, folks.
Oh, no, yeah. I just jumped into the Pacific Ocean. There it was. I mean, now I set up expectations. If they do it, they're good. If they don't do it, they're bad.
Oh yeah.
All kinds of stuff. This got set up with that simple little thing of well, I was just showing it to them for, here comes the word, self-improvement. Oh
yeah.
no. So I need to improve myself.
You're telling me I gotta fix something here?
Right. You're telling me I'm not good enough. Yep, I'm not good enough. Notice, folks, how all that stuff comes on board if you start having expectations. Our expectations is that we show it. And we want to teach you to show it to people and how to do it in that non-judgmental, very light touch. Obviously, there's a touch because we showed it to somebody, but it's a very gentle touch.
Light touch.
It's a very light touch, and that's what to keep in mind. But today's is about noticing the difference between relief and satisfaction. We previously did a show recently about noticing the difference between senses and mental, which is basically a huge problem we got right now, in that people say wild ass stuff that comes out of their mind that has no bearing on the five senses. None. They got no facts, no evidence, no what they say. And the easiest way to think of it here in the United States is it would never stand up in a court of law. Because in a court of law, it's like, oh, you just said that. Well, please present into evidence what you have that supports that. The same would be for science, same thing. Oh, well, you said that. Okay, but where's your evidence? Well, I heard somebody say it. Back to court. Well, that's called hearsay.
The judge says,
and
not admissible.
Right, not admissible, most of it. So yeah, you get. So we're really cool on noticing things in your five senses and making sure they pretty closely correlate with what's going on in your mind. Okay, because your mind will make up stuff. Everybody's mind makes up stuff. It's whether you release it onto the world or not. A lot of people these days are just opening their traps and letting it go. So the defense against that is to, well, I'll notice my five senses experience of the world and see if it matches up. And your five senses can't be that, oh, I heard somebody else say it, or I read it on the internet. Yes, that's a five senses experience, but it's a crappy one as far as getting fat.
Yes.
I mean, obviously you're going to get evidence from the internet. I do too all the time, but you just don't use a single point of evidence. You get lots of points. So that was on the vertical line, very important. Now we're on the horizontal line, and the horizontal line is this noticing the difference between how it feels to get relief. I'm always, when I say those words, I mean, I'm old enough to remember a commercial. And it was from Alka-Seltzer. And it was a jingle. And it said, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Wonderful jingle that stuck in my head, but it's exactly what we're talking about. That's it. And what Alka-Seltzer was trying to sell you on is that if you drink that, you get instant relief. And how many of us want instant relief? Like me, I want it. So you get that relief. If you run away from danger. By the way, you're running before you ever know you're in danger. Your amygdala is that fast.
Feet start moving first.
Your feet are moving first, and the feeling of fear comes on board after that. But nevertheless, eventually, you escaped. And what do? The old,
That was a close one.
what a close call, right? And you feel relief. So that's what we mean by relief, literally the feeling of relief. Okay. And then on the other side is satisfaction. Well, satisfaction is getting something that you want, right? So you mentally you think I'm hungry. Ooh, I'm hungry. You eat something. Ooh, that's good.
Mm.
Not only good, that was satisfying.
Yum.
Yum yum, right? It hit my satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feeling of satisfaction. Phil and I we're lawnmowers, and so we know the satisfaction of looking back and seeing that you finished mowing your yard.
Yes.
Ah,
Nice feeling.
it's not a,
Accomplishment. Got it
it's an
done.
accomplishment. Another way of saying that is that feeling of accomplishment. Right? Like, yay, got that baby done, yay. And some people say, well, maybe some relief mixed in there. Well, maybe it is. You can notice that, okay? You can notice
Fair enough.
what we call a twofer.
Mhm.
There's a little relief and a little satisfaction mixed up
Yep.
at the end of some sequence of behaviors, right? So it's so when people talk about relief and satisfaction, that's how you talk about it with them, like I just did.
Yep.
Build whatever. And it's like it's just bringing them that into that story of their life, and they have examples and within their own lives of relief that you're pointing to. Remember when you felt relief? Yay! Remember when you felt satisfaction? Yay!
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! That's what you're doing, so you can notice the difference. Why is that important? Oh my goodness!
Mhm.
Because without those two, we stop doing anything.
Pretty much.
Those are called rewards. Those
Yep.
are the outcomes of behaviors. Okay. So there's an immediate outcome that you ran away from danger and it worked. Hey, relief. And there was the I mowed the lawn and got her all done and yay, relief. There's those immediate outcomes. And those are all well and good. But we humans have even more. And so the ACT folks, Steve Hayes et al., added in a little bit more. And what they did was he added in values. Anybody who's done ACT a little bit might know about values. You'll say, well, Kevin, you said you didn't mention values. And you're right, we didn't. But it's there. It's called who's important to you. So the way we do it is we simply ask people who's important to you. Later on, we might add in what's important to you.
Yes.
Whatever. But we do it that way, and we don't talk values. Why? Because the population that we worked with, that didn't work.
They didn't want to hear about no value.
They don't want to hear about values. So get you into places
Yeah.
you don't want to go.
Eh.
But nevertheless, it still gets us to this question. So the question is the sum of my behaviors. That means behaviors to get relief and behaviors that get me satisfaction. All of those behaviors collectively, are they working to get me, are they working for my loved ones? Put it that way. Are they working for me? The question I like to ask is, are they working to get me where I want to go in life?
Yep.
Those are all values questions, folks. So in ACT, they'd call it a valued life direction. And they have much fancier language. And that word fancy that I just used for Phil and I and the populations we worked with, that was the problem.
Oh yeah. It's a trap.
The fancy 4-bit words, and we'd call them back in Oklahoma where I came from. They don't work out too well. But who's important? That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And usually people add in themselves. They're important. So notice we did both a short-term consequence, which is the immediate relief or satisfaction, And then the long term, which is asking, well, is all this stuff, my behaviors, working to get me where I want to go in life? And of course, you're never quite satisfied with that.
Nope.
Because if you're alive, you got another day to go, right? So
There's always more.
yes, but you can feel like, and here comes those words, I'm on the right track. Bang. And we all love it when we feel like we're on the right track. And we don't love it when we don't feel like we're on the right track. That feels lousy. And so, but that's the values part, and that's how we added that in. And so now, but so you have relief and satisfaction, and that's how you feel in the moment. And then we have the longer question, which is, well, how's it all working to get you where you want to go? That's called workability, and that's not on the matrix. It's a long-term analysis of how are things working. But it starts with relief and satisfaction. That immediate. You say, well, Kevin, if it's getting to where you want to go, it has to be satisfaction. Oh, no, it doesn't. Scenario, Phil steps off a curb, looks to his left, and there's a big old New York City bus heading toward him.
Yep.
He goes and jumps back.
Yep.
Actually, he jumps back, and then he says, eh.
Yeah, right. Then I give myself credit for it. Ha ha.
Then he goes, relief.
Yeah.
And later on, you say, hey, Phil, did that work for getting you where you want to go in life? And he would say,
you bet your bongos.
It worked great. So, an easy example of how a relief move, a behavior that almost universally ends up in relief, works for your long-term goals, your long-term life. It works for your life. So there's many others. We got to take breaks. And if it wasn't that way, folks, we'll get into a little bit more detail. In reality, and this has been done with the check marks and stuff, if you watch humans behave, most behaviors are relief behaviors.
Yeah.
We are risk avoidance. We are pain avoidant. We're anxiety avoidant if we can be. Our first move is to avoid, to get relief. Yeah. Anxious shows up, get rid of it. Pain shows up, get rid of it. Fear shows up, get rid of it. Boredom shows up, get rid of it.
Get the picture.
Get rid of it. And if it works, we go, oh man, I feel better. And so I don't know what the percentage is, but it's way more than 50% of all behaviors are relief behaviors. And a minority, call it 60-40, what the hell? Don't matter, but like 60s on the left and 40s on the right. That's fine. And you don't want it the other way because you'll be dead in no time.
Oh, yeah.
It's called staying alive, folks. Most driving is relief moves. And just a little bit of getting you where you want to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Stopping at red lights.
Oh, that's relief.
Running into the car in front of you.
Right. So this can be a conversation that you're having with somebody. Yeah. Maybe you're coaching somebody. Maybe you're having therapy with somebody. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're having dinner with somebody.
Yeah. Maybe you're a teacher in a classroom with a bunch of students.
And you're just having this casual conversation about relief and satisfaction, hopefully with the diagram up in front of them, if you can get it. If you're at dinner, you can write it on a napkin. Even better if you have a white tablecloth and write it on that. The managers just love you for that. I'm only kidding.
Really give you that dirty look.
They would give you very dirty looks. But, so they can see it, so you can then stare at relief versus satisfaction. That visual component is important. So, anyways, casual conversations. For those people involved in like therapy activities out there, and people really diss on, They're just doing chit chat check-in therapy, but shooting the breeze therapy, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And Phil and I go, well, hell yeah. Like, what do you
way
mean?
I fly.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Like we show the Matrix, yeah. Then we don't. Then we chit chat, and maybe they'll talk about something that reminds us of who's important. We'll remind them, hey, you're talking about who's important.
Right.
They'll talk about getting relief. Well, that's
There you go.
They talk about something they saw. Oh, it's your five senses. They'll say, oh, yeah, anxiety showed up in my mind. Oh, that's out of your mind. We're just doing that. We're just laying around.
Yep.
Just chit-chatting along till the homework comes. And then we'll say something like, well, you might have the opportunity to notice whatever stuff they've been talking about.
Anxiety, let's say.
Anxiety. You might have the opportunity to notice that showing up. Yep. And the person might say, well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. But when it shows up, you might notice where you are when it shows up. You might notice what was happening like a few minutes before. You might notice what you do afterwards. You might notice all that. Like, oh. People are going, he's talking about something. What's he talking about?
What is this man up to?
If you're a behaviorist, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm not talking about it in behavioral terms. It's just a matter of fact. You can notice all this stuff, or not. Either way, whatever. Notice it, don't notice it, either way. But whatever, if you come back, we'll talk about what you noticed, okay? They go, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And notice they can do the homework or not do the homework, and it's fine.
Okay either way.
It's okay either way. So that's the way we would do it. So we basically, what I would call it, punctuated chit-chat there. Chit-chat
punctuated.
We chit-chat and we punctuate it with stuff off the Matrix.
Yep.
And we do that by they walk in, we show them the Matrix. Here it is. Got it. Then we chit-chat. Punctuate as needed.
Yeah.
In the end, give, you can do it or not do it. Noticing homework based on the Matrix.
Right.
Done.
Yeah. We notice opportunities to punctuate, right?
Yeah, there you go.
You on the other end, as the therapist clinician, you're noticing opportunities to punctuate.
That's it. That's all you're doing. And by the way, you can do that kind of therapy forever.
Oh man, yes. It doesn't get old.
Doesn't burn you out. People like coming to see you.
People like it. They'll go along with you.
Because they actually like it. They like it.
Yeah, they like it. I mean, they go, this is useful. I like this. Right.
And then, you're talking about the weather and their dogs and everything else, just having a good old time. And then, are your dogs important to you? Bingo, right back.
There we go.
And one of that is called, by the way, this is a very, it is easy. It's just, I'm about to say a very technical set of words that need never be brought up in public.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
It's called a functional analysis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Functional analysis of behavior. That's the fancy words for it. We were just talking about doing one during punctuated chit-chat therapy or punctuated conversations, or you can do it with your kids.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and especially the school kids.
Oh, they're the best.
Things are going along, doing whatever, classrooms doing whatever, and the teacher can say, oh yeah, I think this goes up here. And the class looks at the matrix and goes,
yeah.
Let's see. And now you boom, punctuated.
Yeah. And then if you're doing enough, there come a day that the student's going to say, hey, what's important to you, teach?
Yeah, they'll turn it on you, which is fine.
And then you're really rocking.
It's really fun. So it's just a way of looking at behavior, right? The fancy words for it is a self-functional analysis of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So the way we do it is we set up the scenario so for the person to do it themselves if they want to. And if they don't want to, they don't have to do it. They don't. There are no way. Where like in the old days, no, you had a very powerful behavioral analyst who was very learned and
Oh yes,
analyzing people's behavior.
collecting data.
Right. We don't do that.
No,
People run away from us. We don't do that. Because we just want everybody using it. And so if they want to, if they don't want to, that's okay too. So I sort of browned in, you're actually doing some really awesome stuff doing this. People ask, well, where, but, oh, the two words that used to go there, what was it? Toward and away. Toward and away.
Yes, toward and away
was on the left. The original words I put there were away and toward.
Yeah.
Well, then some people got a hold of it and said, oh, Kevin or Dr. Polk, what you're talking about is away from values. And I would say, no, I wasn't.
Yeah, time out.
No, I wasn't talking about away from values. What do you mean? They say, well, it's obvious. Like, no, it's not obvious. I don't mean that. What I mean is what's called negative reinforcement or relief. You get negative reinforcement is when aversive something like shock is taken away from you. Okay, you go, ooh, that feels good. I don't like being shocked. When it goes away, yay. It's called negative reinforcement. That's the left side. And that's relief also, by the way. So it had nothing to do with values. Nillo, none, nada, zero. So after a few of those arguments, literally arguments, people say, well, Dr. Polk, you really meant to say it was, I'm serious, this happened to me. You really meant to say it was away from values. Like, now you get on dangerous territory there telling me what I meant to say. I didn't mean to say that at all. And Phil's been with me from the very beginning of this. And it's always been negative reinforcement on the left.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
not anything to do with values.
Yep.
So we finally, one day I got fed up and removed it. Now we've since gotten lighter and people still say toward the way.
You want to throw it, you want to go toward the way, fine.
Fine, but just know if you're listening to this or you're getting educated, and by all means, if you're going to get certified, you got to know that it's relief.
Yeah.
On the left, negative reinforcement. It has nothing to do.
We'll be listening for that.
Yeah, we'll. If you say something like that, we'll stop.
Nope.
Why? Because it'll get you into a judgmental mess, and that's why. You say, well, why is Kevin so strong on that? Dr. Polk, whatever you want to call me, because it's judgmental. That's why.
Gets in the way.
If I say, oh, Phil, you're moving away from your values. What did I just call Phil?
Yeah.
I called him all kinds of bad things.
Yeah, right. I'm feeling some kind of way now.
Yeah, and he just won't show back up.
Yeah.
Up with that, I'm not going to listen to that. And by the way, if you're doing this with substance use people, they'll really tell you that.
Oh man,
that's where
they'll be out the door before you know it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. So that's why you don't want to. So if you're going to use away, meaning away from fear, away from anxiety, away from pain, that's fine. But if you're going to say away from values, no. So we wanted to add that in. So you will say, and the Matrix is now 15 years old. Now it's 15 years old. So there's literally internet representations, pictures of it that are 15 years old, and those original ones will have toward and away. We just need to know that. So if you're going for certification, you need to know that. But other than that, you're just having a grand old conversation about Hey, we all got stuff we get relief from. I would say it's important in those conversations to normalize the relief.
Yep.
We all do it. It's easy to get in, and even if people just don't know anything about psychology, they get into that release stuff seems not okay.
Yeah.
And you want to dispel that notion. It's very okay.
Very quickly.
Because if you start saying it's not okay, you're saying about 60% of you is not okay.
Yeah.
And that just gets you down a road that you don't want to go.
Yeah, I don't want that.
We've got enough of that. You're not good enough.
Yep.
By the way, you want to become an advertiser? Step 1, convince people they're not good enough. Step 2, sell them something so they'll feel like they're good enough.
Yeah. Sell them the fix.
Step 3, that won't work. So
right.
That's what we have in this world. So Phil and I, over years of practice, have become very attuned to those traps. And so we want to be light. We want to be non-judgmental. We don't want to accidentally tell people they're not good enough. We don't want to do that. That's not the spirit of this. And so there you go. That's a little bit of relief and a little bit of satisfaction, and a little bit. We delved a little bit in. Well, this is certification. This will end up in our certification course.
It's going to get downloaded very quickly.
Phil will do the download and the upload.
Take care of that. Yep.
I love those sayings. I'm downloading my uploads and I'm uploading my downloads.
Exactly.
And once you've been in this a little while, you see, you make a video like this, you got to download it. After you get it downloaded, now you got to upload it back to where you want it.
Yep.
This is the way it works. That's okay. So this will be downloaded and then uploaded into the course. That's available on the green button.
Yeah, you'll see when you click on it and read.
Right. Phil has recently, how many have you added to?
I put in about 35 different Crowdcast webinars pointing to different aspects of Act Matrix work.
And you don't have to watch all of them.
And they're not, please do not, unless you're a total geek, you do not have to watch all of them.
Go back to the early when I just did the fast run through.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know how to do. I mean, and that you're comfy with it, that you're facile, that's a good word. You're matter of fact with it.
Yeah. Natural is the kind of
natural. That's a nice word. Thank you.
Very natural.
So you practice it. We used to guesstimate 30 times.
That's about that. We like that number.
Good enough.
You get to 30, you're going to be pretty natural at it.
But we can guarantee that. If you do 30, you're going to be pretty natural. I mean, you show it 30 times.
Right.
You're going to be pretty natural by then. And we already know, by the way, there may be somebody watching this now or in the future who's already there.
Yes.
All you do is sign up, pay your fee. We get on a Zoom call with Phil and I. We listen to you. We go, hey, that's good.
Yeah.
We'll send you a certificate, put you on the website. All good.
Yeah. And it's self-paced, folks, because we know that stuff gets in the way of moving toward things like certification. Right, Kevin?
Yeah. You might notice through the video that neither Phil and I we would not be called spring chickens.
No.
I don't think.
We got some wear on the tires.
Yeah, we got some. Yeah, wear on the tires. That's a good.
And they still roll, but they got wear on them.
The older we get, the more we're aware of life shows up and gets in the way of stuff.
Oh man!
If it's not my stuff, it's a loved one stuff. It's somebody a hurricane comes through.
Some disaster has fallen someone or you. Yep.
Life happens and gets in the way and interrupts you, sometimes for months, or even a year or something. That's okay. We're not going anywhere. once you pay for it, you're going to get eventually. You're going to sit with it and get certified. And so that'll be cool. But we have literally had people sign up and just do it because they could already do the matrix.
Right. They were ready.
They were just ready. And we have one. There's more of those people that have been certified in the matrix.
Yes.
Which is good. Good, folks. We literally, we are not in this for the money. That's not the thing. But we do put a fee on it, so it means something.
Yeah.
Don't put a fee on it, don't mean nothing. Right. But we gave it all away for free. We're in a capitalistic society. It just would lose all of its value. We don't want to do that to it. Nope. That wouldn't be nice. And anyway, we just use it to do stuff to send out to more matrix stuff.
Yep.
We've always said that if we made enough money at this, we would just travel about places and do free matrix.
Yeah, just show up and show it to people.
Right. But that would be fun to do. Who knows? Whatever. Relief and satisfaction. That was that. I don't know what we'll do next time. But one of these. Well, I mean, I know
we got something in the can.
No, that was in the can. But I'm talking about as far as future training videos. We already have so many. My God, somebody called us prolific once.
We have over, I think, 550. I counted as I was pulling them, as I was doing my downloads and uploads. Like, man, we have over 550 of these things. Yikes.
And I will admit to you that more than one person has called us prolific.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff out there. So we like doing it. We enjoy it. Sometimes we take a break. Sometimes we come back. But Joe, well, we got something else cooking. You'll find out on Monday. We'll present it on Monday.
You will see.
But in the meantime, I would invite you to, if you have the opportunity, you might notice who's important to you.
Mm-hmm.
You might notice yucky stuff showing up. And you might notice yourself doing relief moves. And you might notice yourself doing satisfaction moves. And then again, you might not notice all that, and that's way cool too.
That's okay.
Okay. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Or if you're watching this in 2056 or whatever, well, have a great whatever.
Have a great whatever you're doing.
Whatever you're doing, have a great. Okay.
Enjoy it.
Bye-bye to all.
See ya.